Good evening and welcome to Grandview High School. Tonight's Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week. Boys Suburban Small 6 basketball is Winnetonka 6-3 taking on number 12 Grandview. They come in at 8-2 and winners of 6 in a row. Everybody, Kevin White along with Michael Watson. We welcome you to the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. Winnetonka 2-0. They are on top of the Suburban Small 6. Grandview has not played a conference game, Michael, but they've been red hot lately.
They have been red hot. I mean, they're going to look that way to start out this season. You look at Winnetonka 2-0 in conference. Their best player, DJ Rivera, playing really well so far this year. So they have a lot of confidence coming in here to Grandview for this first conference game.
And Grandview, they started out 2-2. They've now won 6 in a row. They're number 4 in the Missouri Basketball Coaches Association poll, number 12 in our Super 25. Time now to move to our Hy-Vee player profile. And Michael, you already mentioned this guy, DJ Rivera. Yeah. He'll handle the point for the Griffins tonight.
Truly a smart point guard for Winnetonka. Can do it all, knows how to control it of the game for the Griffins. A little banged up to start out tonight, but look for him to really carry the load for the Griffins tonight.
He's got kind of a sore hip from their win Tuesday night over Oak Park. And he'll be opposed by one of the top players in the metro area, Tyrone Taylor of Grandview.
I mean, he's a serious player, one of the Division I prospects, probably one of the top players in the city. He's a coach's son. Taylor is averaging 19 points a game, 4 assists. A lot of D1 teams would love to get their hands on this guy.
He was the MVP of the William Jewell tournament, the Cardinal Division. He was also the MVP of the Suburban Small 6 last year. He is a big-time player, and his team on a big-time roll. The Dogs have won 6 in a row as they play host to Winnetonka tonight. We're back with the introduction of our coaches, our starting lineups, and opening tip-off after this timeout as you're watching the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week. Back here at the home of the Bulldogs, we're at Grandview High School for the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week. Time now to introduce you coaches and a couple of veterans with 300-plus wins on their coaching resumes. And we'll start with the Griffins of Winnetonka, and that is Todd McGuire in his second year at the home of the Griffins. In his 21st year overall, 300-plus wins. State title in 2005, back in his O'Hara days when he was Walker. He's also coached at Bishop Hogan and Bishop Ward.
For the Bulldogs, 6'8" senior, number 5, Nelson Nowicki.
And Randy Ferris in his 14th year, 41st year overall. Started coaching back in the early 70s. 363 career wins, and he had a state runner-up in 2009. Had a playing for the Utah Jazz by the name of Alec Burks. That young man is doing well in the NBA, averaging 12 to 13 points per game. Let's introduce you to the visitors lineup for tonight. And at point, they've got DJ Rivera. He's their top scorer at 16 per game. Sebastiano, the football quarterback, averaging 13. Harbison is a returning starter, averaging 11. A.J. Root, an emerging player. And Kevon Washington is their post guy at 6'4", the junior. The Grandview starting lineup as they get huddled around and get ready for the opening tip. Taylor guard, they've got Scott as an off guard, Damon King, Freedom Akeem Muladoon headed to Nebraska to play tight end, and then they've got the big guy in the middle, Nelson Nowicki, 6'8", really coming on, averaging 11 points and 10 rebounds per game. Good crowd in the tier on a chilly Friday night in the Kansas City metro area. Winnetonka in the black uniforms, Grandview in the home whites. Your officials, Jeff Maxwell, Kevin Driscoll, and Trent Bryant. A.J. Roop to jump center for Winnetonka against Nelson Nowicki. A.J. 6'4", Nelson 6'8". The 6'8" player wins it. Grandview to run the first set of the night. Man-to-man defense.
And Winnetonka a little bit undersized to start out this game. Let's see Well, Taylor coming out. There you go. Line it up, knock it down, and from outside Tyrone Taylor. That's why he's averaging almost 20 points per game this season.
Yeah, Taylor is their top three-point shooter, has 29 threes on the season, shooting a good percentage from downtown at 40%. Rivera, the runner, miss. Washington, a stick-back try. Ball strapped for on the deck. Grandview comes away with it.
Grandview looking to push.
Here's Scott on the pull-up. Yes.
Nice.
Nathan Scott.
Nice mid-range jump shot that time from Scott. Defense gave him the opportunity. He knocked it down.
Grandview also employing the man-to-man defense. Here's a Roop with a three. In and out. Rebounded away there by Freedom Akeem Muladoon, going to Nebraska to play tight end as we get a foul on the inside as Nathan Scott driving the basketball, and he'll draw the foul on A.J. Roop, his first.
At the line for 2 shots is number 10, Scott.
Scott averaging 9 rebounds. Say he's a very fundamental player. His nickname is Men's League. Nothing wrong with that. He struggled with the foul stripe, only 50% thus far this year, but not that many attempts. Honorable mention All-League last year. And he's off to a 4-plus quarter.
And DJ Rivera, little injured so far, but he's playing through it for the Griffins.
He injured his hip in the win over Oak Park on Tuesday night, 64-57. He finished the game, but he was limping around at the end of that ball game, a few minutes of the fourth quarter. And he's still a little sore today. He'll shoot the three out of the corner. And ripping away the rebound is Akeem Muladoon.
And that was a call set for Rivera. Looked good coming off that double screen down low. Just did knock down the corner three-pointer.
Taylor gets by 2 defenders, throws to the baseline. King shot spinning off. How about Nowicki on the offensive glass?
Wow. Nowicki down low. I mean, known for his football prowess as a timeout is taken by Winnetonka, but he was just a man amongst boys that last rebound.
Nowicki was a player that was named an All-William Jewell tournament. Boy, he's a man among boys as far as the rebounds go, and he really emerged in that tournament and caught some coaches' eyes on the college ranks.
Well, he's big down low, strong, loves the contact, and is exactly the type of player that you need playing on the low post.
He averages 10 boards per game. They say the potential with him. He looks stronger in his upper body. His arms look bigger, his shoulders look bigger. As Grandview showing pressure in the backcourt. Coach McGuire, his team off to a slow start on the road.
Nice floater. Didn't look into that time. DJ Rivera getting to the hole.
DJ averaging 16 per game, gets his first field goal out of the timeout. Taylor from downtown.
Wow.
You betcha.
Wow. Off the handoff, raising up for the three-point. Taylor knocking it down for Grandview.
Sebastiano fouled as he drove the baseline. And it's going to be on Freedom Akeem Muladoon. And Sebastiano will go to the stripe. He's a 64% foul shooter. We mentioned in the fall he's the football quarterback. He did football pro. Winnetonka under Coach Sterling Edwards. Walter Sorrells Jr. checking in for Grandview. Also Wesley Nosakari. Nosakari is a big guy on the inside, so 1 out of 2 for Sebastiano. Inside they go to.
Wow, good block.
Their big guy, and A.J. Roop with the rejection, and the Griffins back the other way.
That was great defense that time. by Winnetonka.
And here's A.J. Roop on the take. Nowicki the rebound. And here's Tyrone Taylor in the open. Forget about it.
Wow. Grandview running the floor. Tyrone Taylor left-handed, finishing with his right hand that time, avoiding the defense.
Trying to trap DJ out front. The heady point guard will set up the Griffins offense, but they're down by 11 halfway through the first quarter.
Grandview's defense has been so far in this first quarter, not allowing Winnetonka to get into any rhythm on the offensive end.
Grandview has size. No Sakari checks in at 6'6". Here's Rivera with a three. Sebastiano on the weak side with the offensive glass. And we've got a Grandview foul on the inside coming up. And it's going to go on Nowicki. That'll be the first on Nelson.
And Nowicki looks like a college tight end right now. You see this guy in person. I mean, his arms are super ripped. He's going to do a great job up there just by the physical nature and the way he likes to play.
Tonka with a very patient set. There's A.J. Roop working it back to Rivera. Matched up against Tyrone Taylor. Inside they work to Washington. And he is fouled by No Sakari. Wesley was a starter earlier in the year, but fought a knee injury. Battling back from that. Back in the lineup. First foul on him. Kevon Washington, say, is definitely a work in progress, but likes the game, excited about playing, and see him getting better incrementally. Averaging 6 points and 6 rebounds. Also plays football. Hits 1 out of 2. So a big lead of. They put the score on the wrong side on the scoreboard. The scoreboard in the arena is incorrect as the shot is missed. Harbison has it back. Tonka. Score on your TV screen is correct as DJ Rivera hits the pull-up jumper.
Good job that time by Rivera, seeing the defense backing away, pulling up for the 15-footer.
Now they have corrected the arena scoreboard. 8-point lead in the basketball for the Dogs, trying to win their 7th goal and a win Tuesday night over Blue Springs. Tyrone Taylor missing the mark. Darius Walker has checked in the Grandview lineup. Tonka, the hit and head to Harbison, who lays it up and in. Chris Harbison.
Good job by Harbison, running the floor that time, avoiding the defense of Tyrone Taylor and finishing strong, just like that when Tonka's within 6.
Harbison was second all league last year, one of the team captains. As Roop, yeah, good defense. Boy, Roop just continues to grow. He was only 5'8" in his early high school days. Now he's already up to 6'4". As No Sakari with the block. And the Dogs have it back. Taylor to Sorrells Jr. for Rivera has it back. DJ on the push. DJ to the rack. No. Harbison with a stick back. Spinning off.
Right off the rim for Harbison.
There's Tyrone Taylor. A drive and kick. Walker for 3. It's a run and gun, but nobody's hitting basket right now. Sebastiano to Roop. Blocked from behind.
Stuffed up top.
Is that Walker?
That was Walker. Met him at the glass, and they're letting him play.
Yeah.
Great defense.
This is run, run. Everybody missing at the rim.
Not DJ.
Now DJ Rivera finally breaks the stretch. At 6, signaling the bench he wants out of the game as he is worn down. The old grab of the jersey for Coach McGuire and his staff.
Well, Winnetonka back into a 2-3 zone.
No Sakari from the outside, short. Grandview has hit kind of a scoring rut. Sebastiano is fouled, driving to the bucket.
And DJ Rivera not looking too good Yeah, I'll go to the sideline. But Sebastiano, great job that time attacking the rim in transition, catching the Bulldogs asleep.
Gave the foul to Nathan Scott. And he is now 1 for 3 from the stripe. He is a slasher. He was driving to the bucket when he drew the foul. Both teams shuffling guys in as the pace is up-tempo for both sides. I think both teams want to play the up-tempo game, but just want more finish rim.
Definitely.
Sebastiano 2 for 4, 2 points on the night. Under a minute to play in your first quarter. It was a big lead of 12, but Winnetonka has fought back in this ball game.
And that's the experience and leadership of DJ Rivera, leading his team, understanding that only a few buckets away and how to get those driving to the basket and staying aggressive.
And we've got a blocking violation on the Bulldogs.
And just like that, Winnetonka has an opportunity to tie right here after being down by 12 in the first quarter.
They've really got back in this ball game, and also now Tyler Roy will check outside shooter, probably their best outside shooter. DJ Rivera back in the ball game. He has 6 to lead them in scoring. And trying to dribble through the trap, ball on the deck, and it's tied up, and the arrow will stay with Winnetonka, and DJ is shaken up on the floor. Now he's got an elbow issue, an arm issue, as he went down. He hit his arm or elbow on the floor.
Right here scrambling for the ball, and this is always dangerous when you stick your arms in there. And 42 rolls over to protect the ball, and DJ's arm right underneath that.
He is a banged up player with the hip, and now the arm. Roop. Foul by Freedom Hakeem Moladoun. And A.J. Roop will go to the stripe.
And Roop, a smart player, like you mentioned earlier, still getting acclimated to those inches. He's just growing like a weed and understanding his role on the team this year.
He is a team captain, and Coach McGuire will tell you his best basketball may be in the college ranks, because as a sophomore, he was a little guy, only 5'8". Now he's blossomed to 6'4", and he continues to grow. He may end up being 6'8", 6'7", when it's all said and done by the end there.
I wish I was 6 foot.
Well,
I can keep wishing, huh?
Yeah, he's yeah. So a couple of free throw makes, and was once a blowout ball game is now a 1-point game here as we wrap up things here in the first quarter.
And great job by Winnetonka battling back, trying to get a stop here these last 8 seconds.
Shot spinning off, and rebounding foul on Nowicki over the back as he tried a tip in of the miss there by Damon King. That's 2 fouls on Nowicki.
And Nowicki, good job that time boxing out by Brown down low, and Nowicki just jumps over his back. Can't do that at the high school level. Collegiate level probably would have got away with that one. Let's see what Winnetonka does with 4.5 seconds remaining.
Sebastiano racing up the floor, puts it up,
nice!
Beats the buzzer, and Winnetonka, once trailing by as many as a dozen, will have a first quarter end of quarter lead, 15-14. Their senior point guard, DJ Rivera. They are leading by 1 at the end of 1, 15-14, as you're watching the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week here on the Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. The Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week brought to you by Hy-Vee, official sponsor of High School Spirit at the home of the Bulldogs. I was in Hy-Vee last night. They have a special in the Mission Hy-Vee. They have the $7 steak night. I got the steak, I got a baked potato, green beans, and a roll, and of course
$7?
Yeah, and the weak guy that I am, they have a lemon meringue pie at the end there for $1 a piece. I had to grab one of those. Great meal. They have great food at Hy-Vee. Check out your metro area stores. Proud sponsor of the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week.
Kevin might be that helpful smile in the next hour you
Oh,
see
yeah.
at the Hy-Vee.
I'm always there.
I heard that.
The one there on Martway as the pass inside, intercepted by Sebastiano. Here's Roy in the open floor, trying to find Brown. And goes right through the wickets. That'll be a Tonka turnover.
Grandview that time trying to high-low between their two bigs, and good job that time with the help defense and cutting that off.
So Grandview in white, led by as many as 12 in the first quarter, and Tonka, a late bucket to end the quarter, grabbed their first lead of the ball game as we're just underway in the second quarter. It's Taylor, Scott, Walker, King, and Team Mladin. And the three is knocked down there by Damon King.
And good job that time by King, understanding he was open as Rivera pulls back and knocks down. You shoot three, I'll answer you. Good job that time by Rivera.
DJ is the top Griffin scorer. He has 8 of the 17 on the board. And that bucket ties it at 17. 6.5 to go before our Hy-Vee at the half. As the zone being employed by the Griffins. They started out in man, but gone to this zone. Tyrone Taylor, baseline pop. Yes.
Come on, don't hurt him, Tyrone. Going baseline, 2-dribble pull-up. That's definitely a next-level play by Tyrone Taylor as DJ's coming right back at him.
Brown at the baseline, plays it inside Harbison, stolen away by Walker. Darius playing some good defense tonight for the Dogs as they'll set up their offense. Tyrone Taylor, double figures already, 10 points to lead the scoring. Well, the Grandview Bulldogs, winners of 6 in a row, 8-2 on the year. Won the Cardinal Division at the William Jewell Holiday Tournament. Coach Ferris said we had to adjust to officials calling the games closer as Taylor's 3 pinballs out. And we've made the adjustment and we're playing well right now. Here's Rivera with a 3.
Good Brown by Brown.
Tried to save it, could not. It'll be Grandview basketball. A.J. Roop will check back in the Tonka lineup. Tonka has been good on the road this year, 4-1. Away from their home is now Nowicki back in. Walker out. Nowicki playing, though, with 2 personal fouls. He's going to have to be careful here. Taylor playing inside. Nowicki up and good. Nelson now with 4 in the ball game.
And they don't have an answer down low for Nowicki. If he can stay out of foul trouble, he can be a problem all night.
Sebastiano. And freedom there with the rebound. View back the other way. DJ Rivera in the passing lane. Now back the other way. Can't finish at the rim. And we've got a foul coming up on Winnetonka. And it's going to be on Sebastiano. But how about the night for the Griffins point guard, DJ Rivera, Michael?
Well, he's cut from the cloth of the Kansas City Keys right here. DJ Rivera, Winnetonka Griffin, getting his team going right there with the floater. And this time, defense giving him the pull-up. He knocks down the 15-footers. You take a look right here. Good crossover behind the back dribble, and it's nothing but the bottom of the net for DJ Rivera. Hobbled tonight, but still playing well, keeping his team in it here tonight at Grandview.
Good ball fake and pop. Shot spinning off by King. Good Harbison gets the board back for the Griffins. Here is Sebastiano into the paint.
Nice. Nice. Good job by Sebastiano that time. Being patient when he got into the lane, allowing the defense to fly by him for the floater.
Let's see if they go to their bigs here. They got Nosakari in there and Nowicki, 6'8" and 6'6". They go inside to Nosakari, and he draws the Winnetonka foul.
And great strategy by the Grandview coaching staff, putting their two bigs inside as Tonka doesn't have a matchup for them. But when they're in that zone, trying to keep a couple of people surrounding those big guys as Tyrone is called for the travel.
Yeah, he shuffled his feet before he let go of the alley-oop. He doesn't like the call, but the official was right there, and I tend to agree with the man in stripes here.
Yeah, and Tyrone looked at me and said, did I? Yeah, you did right here. A little shuffle right there. He's waiting for his man to come and do that, but I'm sure we'll see that again tonight.
The Griffins set up their offense. Looks like Grandview's working a zone now, so both teams play a little zone defense here as Washington throws it off the rim. Sorrells Jr. off to the races. First bucket.
And that's what Grandview wants to do. They want to push the ball in transition off for a miss or a made basket, and Sorrells doing a great job that time of finishing.
Walter transferred from Blue Springs. They played at Blue Springs the other night. They said he was real nervous going back to your old school as Washington hits from the elbow. But coach says that ball game's in the past, and Walter go here against a conference rival in the Griffins, and it's been a good one thus far.
Yeah, definitely has been a good one. Winnetonka adjusted early to the outside shooting of Grandview. Tyrone Taylor came out smoking from behind the three-point line, and they've gone towards zone and kind of slowed that down.
Nice look inside.
Wow.
And putting it up and in. Damon King got that partially blocked, but it had enough momentum to get it into the bucket. As Rivera slicing and dicing.
Oh, man. Nice little Euro step that time from Rivera with the finish. He's pulling it all out tonight.
The man is not 100%, but you wouldn't know it by that last move.
He looks 110% right there. And him and Tyrone on the AU circuit, but
wow. Sorrells, a couple of good second quarter buckets, and then commits the foul on Rivera, and that'll be the 17th foul, so they'll send DJ to the line for the 1-and-1.
And Tyrone Taylor's known for his scoring prowess, but right here, good left-hand swing pass inside. Blocked by Root, but good finish down low. And DJ Rivera, not to be outdone, comes down with the Euro step, the Bron, and finishes on the other end for Winnetonka.
Front end of the 1-and-1 is short. DJ only shooting 53%. And Sorrells Jr. really feeling it.
Yeah, that's a heat check shot right there. That's the system. When you scored a couple of baskets, that third one is just going to go.
Instead, it goes out of bounds to Winnetonka as they've got Roop on the floor with Sebastiano. Harbison running down the baseball pass. Chris going to go all the way to the bucket. And one.
I see you, big man. And Grandview pressing up the full court. Harbin just releases off the play and goes up strong, knowing he's going to be hammered. Strong enough to finish around the rim, and he'll go to the line and complete the three-point play.
Harbison makes it a 1-point Grandview lead after the second foul on King. The Bulldogs bringing it up. Taylor, their top scorer, has 10 on the night, including 2 threes.
Well, Taylor is a coach's son, as I mentioned earlier. His father coaches the Kansas City Sonics, one of the premier AAU teams here in the city. So Tyrone, real smart player, understands the game, and winning scored. So he'll look to take over as his team trails right now as he pulls up.
Off the heel of the rim. Sorrells Jr. got it back. King inside to Nosakari, and he is fouled by Harbison. Free throws coming up here for Wesley Nosakari, the 6'6" senior forward.
Nosakari, he took the steps, is what we call him. When you're about to go up strong, he took those steps. He was fouled. The 6'8" senior go to the line. One thing they'll tell you, as he mentions the first one, is you can't teach size.
They definitely have some size, yeah.
Man, 6'8", 225, solid. That's Nowicki. He checks out the game, try to keep him in the third personal.
Harbison's first foul as Wesley hits 1 out of 2. They say he's their best scorer on the inside, but fought that knee problem. He was a starter earlier in the year. Skip pass, Roy down the baseline in traffic, had it blocked there by Akeem Moladun. And here comes the Dogs quickly back. Taylor the spin off glass.
Wow.
Yes.
Get buckets, young fella. Going to his right, cut off, counter move with the spin and the kiss off the glass.
Roy for 3,
Okay.
answering back. Tyler Roy.
Oh man, it's heating up in here tonight with just under a minute to play in the half.
Been a good second quarter. Grandview by 1 with the basketball, looking to hold for the final shot of the second quarter.
I wonder who will take this shot. You go to Vegas right now, my bets would be.
You wouldn't get very good odds if you're taking 21.
Oh, okay.
He's not the long shot, if that's what you're saying. And here he has it. And now he'll get ready to go to work here as he's feeding off to King. Now back to Tyrone. Tyrone sees the clock under 10. Sorrells Jr. down the baseline, and he is fouled. So if he took Sorrells Jr., he was a bit of a long shot, and he'll shoot 2 free throws here with just over 5 seconds officially on the arena game clock, and try to add to a 1-point dog lead here.
Good job that time by Sorrells, not setting for the outside three-pointer, but taking to the basket and drawing the foul. A lot of young players would have settled that time for the jump shot, but the senior with the experience to the line, went to the hole, drew the foul. He misses the first. That's 2.
He's one of their top foul shooters at 82%, so the rare miss, he'll have another one coming. As look at the night for Walter Sorrells Jr., the transfer from Blue Springs. And the 82% foul shooter takes an over. Here's DJ trying to beat the clock again. Spinning off, no good. And Grandview will lead it by 1 at halftime. 30-29 is your halftime score. As you're watching boys Suburban Small 6 basketball as part of the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week here on the Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. And we'll return with Hy-Vee at the half after you watch these messages once again on the Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. Welcome to Hy-Vee at the half. We're in Grandview for boys Suburban Small 6 basketball. Kevin Wyke and Michael courtside. As a good first half. 30-29 is your halftime score. Grandview by 1. As we welcome you here courtside. It looked like a Grandview blowout early. Tyrone Taylor was hitting everything. They got a 12-point lead. Winnetonka comes back. How'd they do it?
Well, they adjusted and they went into a zone defense against Grandview to stifle that outside shooting, and so it kind of slowed down that game. Gave one an opportunity to start on the offensive end, and DJ Revere, one of the best players as well, got it going for the Griffins.
It was an exciting first half, but Tyrone Taylor, you got to talk about this guy. He is something to watch.
Yeah, he's a next level player. I mean, he can do it on both ends of the floor. He can stop and play your best offensive player, but he can flat out score, knows how to create. As we mentioned before, a heady player, coach's son, very small on the offensive end, and he has what we call a flamethrower. Left hand, he's a knock it down. Definitely going to see him at the next level of Division I.
Now, you're always talking about you're the looks on this broadcast. I think
Where's
the
the
next level's right behind us.
Are these the looks right here?
Yeah.
These are my daughters, Bree, Jordan, and Jada. You'll say hi.
Yeah, that's the looks.
I know. You're right, Kevin.
Hey.
Sweater vest next time for me and Kevin. Sweater vest.
All right, Hy-Vee at the half will continue. After this timeout, as you take a look at Tyrone Taylor in action. This young man can flat score the basketball. His team leads it by 1. As you're watching Hy-Vee at the half here on the Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. And there's Rick Hunley, our old friend from back in our Metro sports days. Grandview resident. A number of sons roll through here as tremendous college athletes, defensive backs, and good to see him here supporting the Bulldogs as they lead it by 1 at halftime. Time now for the Hy-Vee first half highlights.
Well, they started off early for Grandview, and their man Tyrone Taylor This was about 3 seconds to the game, stepping out and knocking down the three-point basket. You're looking to push the basketball up ahead for the mid-range jumper, and it looked like early that they were going to run away with it, but DJ Rivera, another top prospect in the city, hurt but playing well, knocking down the jumper right there. Tyrone Taylor, this is something you can't teach right here. Baseline, 2-dribble pull-up and knocking it down, but showing he's more than score with the wraparound pass inside to his teammate for 2. For Harvey, they're going strong to the basket for Winnetonka with the layup on the break. And from the corner, knocking down the 3. And just like that, after being down 12 in the first half, down by 1. We'll be right back on Time Warner Cable Channel.
Grandview by 1 at halftime. Your leading scores, DJ Rivera for Winnetonka with 10. Tyrone Taylor has a dozen, leading the Dogs. We're back to the third quarter right after this. Underway with the third quarter. Already got a bucket in the books. Nathan Scott making it 32-29. Grandview in white. The original starting 5 of Taylor, Scott King, Akeem Moladun, and also Nowicki on the floor. And a traveling violation on the Dogs. We'll give it back to Winnetonka as we set their lineup. Rivera, Sebastiano, Harbison, Roop, and Washington. As we take a look at the Hy-Vee first half numbers quickly. As we're in it deep into the third quarter. Michael, anything jump off the page at you there?
Well, definitely the shooting for Winnetonka. 1 of 5 from three-point range, being able to stay in the game, not shooting it that well from outside. Grandview doing a great job on the board with their advantage down low.
Here's Sebastiano, and he draws the foul. And it's going to be on Freedom Akeem Moladun. And Sebastiano to the stripe. And an up-and-down night. He's 2 for 4. And you get a look at Freedom, who's going to play Nebraska football next year as a tight end. 64% clip for Sebastiano. He is a football player himself, the quarterback for the Griffins football team. As an honorable mention, all-conference basketball player. Coach McGuire says he needs to let the game come to him a little bit. 7 points on the night for Julius. 2-point lead in the basketball for the Bulldogs of Grandview. 8-2.
Winnetonka back into their 2-3 zone. Grandview to shoot from the outside. But Grandview being patient, Tyrone Taylor getting the call from the bench.
High post, Nowicki inside to Freedom. Back out now to Taylor. Got it partially blocked by Roop. Got a foul coming up. And it's going to be on Nowicki, and that'll be his 3rd. How about A.J. Roop with the long arms and getting the block there. And now Rivera trying to catch the defense sleeping. Instead, he slips and falls and is tied up. And the ball goes back to Grandview. DJ saw the defense kind of, lollygagging back there. He thought he could take advantage. And, well, he got going too fast and slipped, quite frankly.
Yeah, got going and wasn't able to slow down. And coach telling him, hey, slow down. He's like, I slipped, coach. No excuses.
Grandview seems a little perplexed on how to attack this zone.
Well, it's a basic 2-3 from Winnetonka with DJ out top. It shifts from a 2-3 to a 1-3-1, depending on the shooters and what side they're on. They're following Tyrone Taylor, understanding he's the outside scoring threat for Grandview.
This might be a box and one type defense as Sebastiano is following Taylor all over the floor, but the Dogs get a foul in the corner, and it's home for Nathan Scott.
Nathan Scott didn't have a big first half, but 2 buckets already here in the second half and giving Grandview a 5-point lead. They left him open down there in the corner, and he makes him pay.
Yeah, Scott, as Michael mentioned, only had 4 in the first half, now has 9 on. Here's Roop. Sebastiano fighting for it at the baseline. And they say off the Griffins player there, and we'll go over to the Grandview Bulldogs, leading by 5, led by as many as 12 in the first quarter before Winnetonka rallied. Actually led it at the end of the first quarter by 1. Grandview led it by 1 at time, though. The Dogs might not be perplexed. They might just be real patient with handling the zone here as they go inside. Pass intercepted. That is a Bulldogs turnover. Harbison up the floor. Good handles. Tarup. AJ got it blocked from behind and then ties it up, and Winnetonka at the baseline.
That was a quick jump ball that time by the officials. It'll turn over to Winnetonka. Right there.
Washington tying up Akeem Moladun. Inside, Sebastiano, the assist by Harbison.
Good pass by Harbison down after penetrating. Dishing it out to Sebastiano for the finish.
Scott feeling it. Roop tracks the rebound down, finds Rivera. DJ will bring it up. DJ got it poked free. Good defense there by King. Now here's Tyrone Taylor in the open floor and
nice. Good finish. Tyrone Taylor that last time down the floor, using his body to protect the basket. Great heads-up play right here. Knows he's going to get the contact, but uses his body to shield the defender, and then strong enough to finish with the right hand, being a left-handed player. So showing that next level ability already with 16 points in the game.
And now Grandview gets it right back, and Taylor makes him pay. Quick timeout. Winnetonka. Todd McGuire is not a happy coach right now.
That last time, Tyrone Taylor definitely showed that vicious first step that he's known to have. Froze the defender and finished with the layup for Grandview to give his team a 7-point lead and causing Winnetonka to take a timeout.
Let's go back to what happened there after the free throw.
After the free throw, Tyrone staying down, he misses, but playing defense right there causes a little confusion between the players, and Brown tries to save it. Saves it right to Tyrone Taylor. You see right here that first step against 3 Winnetonka defenders, and he finishes. He has 18 points right now for the Bulldogs.
Coach Ferris says he's a Division I prospect. He's a scoring point guard and MVP of the league last year. MVP in the Jewel tournament as well. As AJ Roop finding Rivera for 3.
Nice. And that was Roop that time. Understanding his shooter, he just received a pass from him, taking the defense with him, shifting and allowing DJ to get set up, and DJ knocking it down, keeping his team in it.
That was a big bucket for the Griffins as they try to stay close in this one. Sorrells Jr. into the ball game. Ball is deflected by Brown off King, and Grandview will turn it over. Brown with the good defense there created the turnover, and Tonka has it back down by 4. Just over 3 to play in your third quarter on the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week. Suburban Big Six, or a small action, I beg your pardon, as Brown takes the pass and then gets roughed up and fouled on the play.
Well, Rivera threaded the needle that time with that entry pass into Brown.
Darian Jackson commits his first foul, as Griffins will play it in from the baseline, as here's Sebastiano. Mouse popping out of his mouth as he inbounds the ball there. What a battle tonight between Rivera and Taylor, 2 of your top point guards in the metro area. Obviously, there's many more good players as well. Good matchup. Harbison off glass, strong. Washington tried to follow it and draws the Walker foul. And will shoot free throws. Kevon Washington.
And Washington, like they said, is a work in progress, but able to battle down low, just hanging around the boards and go to the line and shoot too.
Kevon over to the stripe. Say he's just a wonderful kid to be around, loves the game, and slowly but surely getting better and better. With the big guys, you know, it's footwork and blocking out and rebounding and getting those post moves down. It's not an easy process as Washington there. Dogs have it back. 4-point lead in the basketball, late third quarter.
And now Winnetonka still in that 2-3 defense has made Grandview slow down and think about what they need to do offensively. Grandview likes to get up and down if they can.
Down low, Nowicki the catch, two guys on him, and one. Too strong is Nelson Nowicki, the 6'8" senior forward for Grandview.
Well, Nowicki, we talked about it earlier, a man amongst boys down low, and they know when they need a bucket to go inside, and Nowicki loves the contact, and he goes powers up and finishes for Grandview.
Nelson's night, 6 points, 5 rebounds, came in averaging 11 points and 10 rebounds. And Nelson, a 63% foul shooter. Coach Ferris takes his big guy out, congratulates him as he sits down. No Shakari back in the lineup. Rivera, a little stop and go. And we've got a foul coming up on Anthony Peterson, who's just checked in the ball game. That'll be his first and the team's 5th. Here's Sebastiano for 3. Bingo.
Nice. And Sebastiano, not really known for his outside shot, but that time, turn it and take it as Winnetonka nearly causing a turnover.
And here's Taylor, and we get a timeout. Grandview, as Coach Ferris did not like how the ball was being brought up the floor there as they were having trouble with the Tonka pressure, and he took the timeout as his team leads it by 4 here in the third. Coming up this Monday, a big day at the Sprint Center as part of the Martin Luther King Holiday Monday, a basketball showcase that'll start at 9 a.m. as it'll be Ruskin taking on Lincoln Prep in girls action, and it'll go all the way until 7:30 in the wrap-up game between Harmon and Northeast, all for $10. You got the day off Monday. That sounds day at the Sprint Center.
Definitely is. And last year being the inaugural year for the event, the crowd was just wonderful down there. Over 8,000 people showed up throughout the day to watch some really good high school basketball. The energy in there was magnificent. I'm going to be down there doing some games, enjoying it. So definitely come on out and enjoy it with us.
It's a special deal for the coaches and players also playing at a marquee facility like the Sprint Center. And it's a great day to celebrate the Martin Luther King holiday here in the Kansas City metro area. So a 4-point lead in the basketball. Grandview took the timeout. What do you think was said in the timeout? Was he just mad about bringing up against the pressure, or was this a set play or how they want to play the rest of the third quarter? They go high, low, it's intercepted, so a turnover.
Well, definitely was to get those guys' attention, get them back understanding the philosophy of handling the ball, taking care of it as Harbison.
Yeah, Harbison jab stepped and he moved both feet, I guess. Apparently,
that was a real right there.
His jab was so strong it pulled his other foot, his pivot foot, off the floor, and they called the walking violation. As we go under a minute here in the third quarter. Now the steal. Rivera ahead to Sebastiano. The basket and the foul. Big Julius, as he's got 14. Mouthpiece just barely hanging on there.
Well, that's that defense started by DJ Rivera ahead to Sebastiano, leading the play. Gets hit on the head, but strong enough to power up and finish. And just like that, back and forth game, has an opportunity to pull his team to within one.
Hit the free throw, but he's had 14. Rivera has 13. They've been the top scorers, keeping the Griffins close in this ball game. Down by 2, late third, as the Dogs will hold for the final shot here of the third quarter. Seen the Dogs lead by as many as 12 in the first half, as many as 7 or 8 here in the third quarter, and Griffins just keep coming back. And Coach McGuire says his guys will never give up. Here's Taylor, catch and shoot, no. Ball picked up and put back up and in. Nice stick back by Damon King. Rivera to try to beat the buzzer, was partially blocked and comes up short. And at the end of 3 quarters, boys suburban small 6 basketball, Grandview leads it by 4, 44-40. As you're watching the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week here on the Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. The fourth coming up next. The Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week brought to you by Hy-Vee, the official sponsor of High School Spirit. We're at Grandview, the home of Josh Freeman, NFL quarterback, former Simone Award winner. Take a look at the rundown of the scores by quarter. Of course, Alec Burks, also high school basketball here, won a Dorena back in 2009. Doing just fine in the NBA with the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, he is.
Scoring some points there for the Jazz.
Yeah, he is one of the better players and just developed late, as you said, here at Grandview, but phenomenal college career at Colorado and now playing well at Jazz.
And the ball lost out of bounds by Scott. That'll be a Bulldogs turnover to start the third quarter.
And Rivera right there again, pressuring up defensively for Winnetonka, causing that turnover.
Rivera racing up, now working against the Grandview zone. Harbison, Washington, Roop, and Sebastiano. And a foul on Taylor. And foul was well away from the basket, and that is a big foul because it puts the 1-and-1 now to the Winnetonka Griffins here. They'll send Harbison to the stripe, and he's a good foul shooter at 78%. First foul on Tyrone.
And this is what you don't want, opportunity to score while the clock is stopped for Grandview, allowing Winnetonka to hang around, and he knocks down that first free throw for Winnetonka. Got to shout out my people on Facebook who watch us every week, tuning into the Hy-Vee Game of the Week. April, Pip, everyone. Coach Cates over at Summit Christian Academy, got them in a couple of weeks against Barstow.
That's right.
That's going to be a good one.
Late Coach, January will be there.
Billy Thomas, coach at Barstow, former KU guy.
Hawks on a roll. Got Oklahoma State tomorrow in Lawrence. And 2-point lead in the basketball. Grandview. Here's Taylor, the baseline
that is
shot.
Ridiculous right there. Sweet move by Tyrone Taylor going baseline, 2-dribble pull-up. We saw it earlier in the game. Did it again right there. Getting his spots on the floor when he wants to score. When you're a primetime scorer, you know when no one can handle you and stay in front of you, and right there, knock it down as he causes a steal on the other end.
Oh, he's everywhere.
No,
right
he's
now.
not. Yes, he is. I see you, young fella. Get buckets out here then.
22 now. Tyrone Taylor doing it on both ends of the floor. as the Bulldogs have a 6-point lead, and Winnetonka wants a early fourth quarter timeout.
Well, big-time players live for the big-time moments, and here Tyrone Taylor is causing a steal and then say, you know what? I'm going to pull up and knock down this J because it's a heat check for me. I just hit the one before that, and just like that, Grandview with a 6-point lead.
Well, let's take a look at Tyrone Taylor, the senior point guard's night here in conference action. He got off early, hitting the three.
Early and often for Tyrone Taylor, stepping down the three, but you know what? Hit that first one, I can knock down the second as he does from the top of the key, and this time running the floor, finishing with the right hand. Left-hand player right here. This is silky smooth from the left-hand point guard, knocking it down, and right here, little excuse me, see at the basket, kiss off the glass. Young fella's just putting it tonight. We like to call it putting in work. Tyrone Taylor for Grandview, starring here tonight.
Unofficially 22 on the night for Taylor. Here's Roy for three. High arcing three, comes up empty as Nowicki has it back now. Let's see what happens out of the timeout.
I know what's going to happen. Oh, he was calling for it.
A.J. Roop for Winnetonka, drawing the foul. Will go to the line. Fouled by Damon King. Really like the upside with A.J. He's listed as the most improved player. This guy is a team captain. And I think when he gets to college is when he'll be peaking as far as his game is concerned. And
you can tell, you get that out of this young man. Flashes of greatness.
As a recruiter, you got to kind of look into the future and look into the crystal ball on these kids and how they're growing and developing. And I think he's one of those guys that'll really be something special when he gets to the next level. This guy's already good. Tyrone Taylor back the other way. Nowicki, layup good. The assist to Taylor.
Man, he just carved up the defense that time. A one-man press breaker knocks it ahead to Nowicki for the finish.
Inside, they go A.J. Roop. End line. That'll be a Tonka turnover.
It's been a game of momentum, a game of runs for both teams. Grandview definitely momentum is in their favor right now as previously Roop steps out of bounds. Definitely want to get the momentum back swinging if you're Winnetonka, and that starts with DJ Rivera.
Taylor down the baseline, and a player control foul is called. It's Harbison stepping in and takes the charge on Taylor, his second foul of the night.
Well, that was a smart play by Harbison, cutting off the baseline, seeing Tyrone Taylor not trying to score, trying to pass this time, but staying there and drawing the charge against Taylor.
Rivera will save some clock. Go down low to Sebastian, who's had a big night, and it continues.
Yeah, he is.
16 now for Julius. Griffin's hanging around. Taylor, 16-foot pop, fouled, and we'll shoot a couple here. Foul is on Sebastiano. Two fouls on Julius as Taylor to the stripe. Taylor, the team captain, saying his defense continues to improve. Gets 4 assists per game. The free throw shooting has to be above 66% though. You're hard. You want to get a guy shooting around 70-75% as much as he can get to the stripe. Inside they work it to AJ, or beg your pardon, that is Kevon Washington, and he lost it out of bounds. So there you see the inexperience down low. Long pass ahead, and he is fouled by Sebastianos. Julius goes to help him up. Good sportsmanship there.
Definitely.
A lot of goodwill between these two conference rivals, surprisingly, and guys seem to know each other pretty well.
They do.
Helping each other up. And I'll send Taylor back to the stripe.
They do know each other very well. Both these players, DJ Rivera going up in the Keys organization, and Tyrone Taylor with the Sonics, even Damon King, KC Premier, Coach Mike Nicholson. Shout out to him. That's one of my guys. So a lot of quality players being coached by a lot of quality coaches as well.
You got a lot of guys.
It's my guy, man.
You have a lot of guys.
You're my guy.
Oh, well, yeah, thanks for including me.
People say, do you know Kevin? I say, yeah, that's my guy.
That old guy on the broadcast? Yeah, I know him.
You mean the guy who did my games?
Yeah.
I don't say
yeah. Yeah, there's an old reference.
Oh,
Sebastiano Harbison, I beg your pardon. Taking it inside and up and in.
Little cuff action that time by Harbison, getting to the rim.
Harbison, yeah, he just gripped that ball and on his wrist there and just took it right to the bucket.
I don't know why I thought of Wally Zerbiak on that play.
Oh, big three down by Damon King.
That's a big shot. Big shot by Damon King.
He's got 10 on the night. Here is Sebastiano.
Wow. All right.
Wow, he's having a big night. 19 now. 2 threes for Julius. Now he's checking Taylor. There's Sorrells Jr. No.
Man, oh my goodness.
Those are just manly rebounds. This is my ball. I don't care if there's two guys around me. I'm just ripping it out of your hands and drawing the foul.
Oh, man, these two teams have been going at it all night, and Damon King doing his part to keep Grandview ahead, knock down a three-point basket, but Sebastiano knocks it down for Winnetonka.
19 for Julius. Here's Nowicki. Missing the free throw. He's a 63% foul shooter, closing in on a potential double-double. 9-9 night going for the 6'8" senior. So 10 on the night for Nelson. Back to a 6-point lead for Grandview. There's Rivera. Over to Mr. On Fire. Sebastiano got it blocked. Loose ball ripped out of there by Taylor. Numbers for Grandview.
Oh!
King misses the dunk, but he's fouled.
Uh-oh, I see you, Damon.
And
Damon says, you know what? I'm not laying this up. Meet me at the rim.
I'm saying no foul. What's going on here?
No foul on the play.
They're saying Grandview basketball, and apparently the ball went out of bounds. Last touch by Winnetonka, and Coach McGuire really wants an explanation as he calls the official midcourt. I'm a little perplexed myself here. What's going on?
Yeah, if there's no foul call, his stoppage of play, so
we'll have to go to the other end and shoot free throws. Double bonus time. And they'll whistle it on DJ Rivera. Now he has to watch himself. That is his fourth. Or I beg your pardon there on King. King's fourth. The Grandview player. So Todd McGuire's team will have A.J. Roop going to shoot 2 free throws here. Double bonus time. And A.J. connects.
And for the Bulldogs is number 10,
Scott back in. King will sit down with those four personal fouls. And here's another free throw by Roop. Perfect. 2 for 2 there. Four-point lead. The basketball belongs to Grandview, and they want a timeout as Taylor got it across midcourt for Winnetonka.
Yeah, the all-park is bigger than these guys. It's definitely going to be just a wonderful day of basketball. We got some wonderful ambassadors coming down. Chief Daryl Forte of Kansas City Police Department, Coach Jack Bush, Michael Walker. Speaking of Wyandotte, you got Nate Johnson and Victor Williams also be down there. So it's going to be a wonderful day of basketball and doing it on a wonderful day. Martin Luther King.
To see all those games at the Sprint Center, you can't beat that. As Grandview out of the timeout. 4-point lead in the basketball, and look like they're going to run some clock here. Man-to-man defense by Winnetonka is now DJ Rivera fouling Tyrone Taylor.
That was a touch foul.
.26 now. Back to a 6-point lead for the home team. Roop in the paint. Got blocked it back.
Right there, Winnetonka has been pressing up this entire game, but there's your press breaker.
Too fast.
Wow.
And he is fouled. Thought he should get the bucket and the foul. Let's go back to the offensive glass. And how about Kevon of Washington?
Yeah, Washington right here following up the miss.
At the 2:35 mark. Huge night for Taylor, but I mean, this is par for the course with this young man. He's been the MVP of the William Jewell Holiday Tournament, MVP of the conference last year, and one of the top players in the metro area. 30-point night. And once again, bumping the lead back to 6 as Winnetonka won't go quietly here on the road. Hanging around as Rivera will pick it up off the floor, saving the timer.
And the full court pressure of Winnetonka giving Grandview some problems as Taylor is trapped down low and
a timeout.
Got a timeout.
Taylor thought he was fouled, but the timeout was called before the bump on Taylor. And it'll be a 30-second timeout for Grandview, nursing a 4-point lead. And the coach, quite frankly, Tonka point guard, the lead has been cut down to 1. Sorrells Jr. handling point now.
And this is where you're starting to tighten up a little bit. You're not used to this pressure.
They foul King. Harbison with the foul.
Yeah, Jeff family, I know you see this. At
1-1 now.
Yeah.
Well, King comes in a 67% foul shooter. Has had a good night, right at his average. One of the team captains. Earning the bonus.
Yeah, still only down 1 possession. And you see DJ Rivera right here by the sideline. By the bench for Grandview, talking to the head coach.
Still a 1-possession ball game, but a couple of clutch makes by King. And we get a timeout, full timeout on the floor. 1:24 to go in regulation. And the Griffins down by 3. Next action for the Griffins. We mentioned that the Bulldogs will be taking part in the MLK Showcase at the Sprint Center on Monday. Winnetonka will go to the North Kansas City tournament next week. Yeah, there he is.
Serious right there. The throwback Grandview jersey. Back when Keelan Block used to play for Grandview. TC Chambers back in the 90s, back in the good old days.
They've had Vera calls them out as things heating up down the stretch here as just over a minute to play in regulation.
And both teams coming with the clap off when they have a really good play. They just start clapping like crazy, but good defense that time by the KC's premier player, Damon King. Got the assignment of guarding pull up, and this is what you don't want to do as a point guard. Pick your dribble up and force to take a timeout. Just more opportunity for Coach McGuire to draw up a play for the Griffins.
I want to say thanks to Jeff Rich of Winnetonka, the athletic director, Steve Robertson, the Grandview. My Winnetonka, Scott checking in. No Sakari out. Right at 1 minute on the arena clock as we wind this suburban small six game down. They get it into Taylor, crashing into Harbison. I'm going to tell you, Winnetonka's bench just erupted. They did not like that call.
And that should have been a charge.
Todd McGuire, well, let's say the back of his neck is so hot you could fry an egg on the back of it. He is a unhappy coach.
Well, he only had to allow the player and I needed to turn and put the ball down, and he did just that and took the charge square in the chest. Coach McGuire definitely has a valid argument.
Taylor to the stripe, shooting now 2. That is the 10th team foul, so 2 shots for Taylor. And Taylor.
Take another look at her. Oh, well, may have been moving. I don't know.
Yeah, it's close.
It was different from our angle.
I know the folks wearing the Winnetonka unis tonight aren't happy, but 1 out of 2. Here's Sebastiano for 3. Roofed in the offensive glass.
Wow!
So he can
to make it a 1-point game.
Timeout Grandview.
Full timeout, Bulldogs.
And this will be the full timeout by Grandview as their lead is at 2. And we're at 46 seconds to go here in regulation.
Well, still plenty of time, but if not, foul at the free throw game.
Griffins 2-0 in the conference. Grandview, this is their first conference game tonight.
Tickets will be $10 at the gate. Come by and cheer on the Bulldogs.
Coach McGuire in that huddle. Of course, won a state championship in 2005. Marcus Walker was his star player. You know, Marcus is in the house tonight, and this Marcus, I think, second all-time in Kansas City basketball scoring.
No, he's number 1 all-time in Kansas City basketball.
2,792 did he pass?
He having to go to the line and
knee seconds.
left that door open for Sebastiano. You got to catch this guy right here.
Rivera, the driving kick. Roy to tie it.
Wow!
Yes! Tyler Roy ties it at 65.
Men's veins. Moments like these as a timeout is called by Winnetonka.
Tyrone closing in on 30. His team up by 1, and Winnetonka will take the timeout. Good ball game tonight in the suburban small 6.
Well, no matter if he makes this free throw, it's not over.
He's on the night. 31 now for Taylor. A 3 will win it, though.
Rivera.
Rivera to Roy. At this time, ball loose. Grandview's got it, and there's a foul with just over a second to go.
Well, that was the right basketball play that time from DJ Rivera. Passing over to Roy, who just hit a three-pointer. And Roy just came up short. As you see Rivera doing a great job coming up court. Rivera to Roy, just missing it. And
Sorrells due to shoot 2. Oh for 2 from the stripe. Perfect with this one. Young man, a very good shooter. 86 points, 2 rebounds. Does a good job getting an assist. He has 4 assists per game.
Nice.
Ball game over. 69-65. Grandview now 7 wins in a row. Will up their record to 9-2. Grandview now 1-0 in the league. Winnetonka drops to 6-4, and they are now 2-1 in the Suburban Small 6. We're back to wrap things up as you're watching the High B High School Game of the Week. Well, Grandview held off a feisty Winnetonka Griffin tonight as they win at 6. And thanks to our school's ADs, Jeff Rich and Steve Robertson. Thanks to the coaches, Todd McGuire and Randy Ferris. Joe Novacek's been our producer. For Michael Watson and our entire crew, Kevin White saying so long from Grandview High School. Our final once again, Grandview wins at 69-65 as we say goodnight and enjoy the rest of your weekend.